When someone sits you down, or in my case comes alongside the hospital bed, and tells you you have morbidly anything, it is always advisable to sit up and take notice. Seriously, in my case it was a diagnosis of morbidly high blood pressure. When someone uses the word morbidly, it usually has an association with something pretty deadly, i.e. death or dying. From the Latin morbidus, disease, or morbus, disease, you can appreciate that it does tend to concentrate the mind a bit. Now, a conventional measurement of high blood pressure, HBP, analyzes the pressure of the blood going into and out of the heart and the effect this has on the arteries, etc. It is measured in two terms. In each heartbeat, the blood pressure varies between a maximum level, systolic, and a minimum level, diastolic, pressure. Now, historically, this has always been calculated or measured in terms of millimeters of mercury, mmHg. Statistically, the average has always been known as 120/80, but you can imagine when the doctor sits you down and says, "Mr. Morgan, you're suffering from what we call morbidly high blood pressure," that is to say, currently the readings are showing 216/160. Now remember, the average is supposed to be 120/80 and mine was 216/160. At this point, alarm bells started ringing all over the place, metaphorically speaking, and it was a good job I was already sitting down in a hospital bed, because if I wasn't already there, that's where I would be immediately heading. Now, I mentioned this small anecdote. It wasn't small then, it was pretty darn major, I can tell you, because this was over 12 years ago, and since then I have brought my blood pressure down to the level it sits at today, which is 135/82. I was 40 when I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I am in my early 50s now, so that accounts for the variation. But the moral of this and a series of future articles is that a diagnosis, no,